Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and today we're fighting with the BBC. Not really. The BBC did an article about Generation Z, and just to give you an idea, Generation Z was born between 1997 and 2012. Today, they'd be ages 10 to 25 years of age. I think you can probably tell I am not a member of Generation Z. I am, in fact, one of the oldest possible millennials, an elder millennial. You're welcome. I have deigned to grace you with my presence. Um, and of course, before millennials, you had Gen X, then you had theoretically Boomers 2, and then Boomers 1, and then you had post war and World War II generations. So the BBC did this big article about how Gen Z wants big bucks and chill. Um, which seems to be a headlining way of saying they want to get paid and have better working conditions. And I don't know that that's generational. I really don't. So, like, millennials grew up watching the boomers, who were often our parents, or Gen X, I guess, who were also often our parents, get screwed over by employers, right? And you had these weird fake ideas of how employment was going to go, right? Like I had a bunch of friends who went into Big Law, and they were like, Vince, you never go. I am making $250,000 a year. And I'm like, yeah, bro, but you're working 90 hours a week, and your hair's falling out, and it's not even medical. It's just like anxiety related. And I don't know if you did the math, but if you got two jobs as bartenders in New York City, you would actually make more than 250K for fewer hours. So maybe Big Law doesn't make sense. And they'd be like, no, I'm going to make partner and then I'll be a millionaire. I'm like, well, a couple problems with that plan. One, not everybody makes partner. In fact, if we look at the data, maybe 10% makes partner. So that's not going to go great. But also, generally, partners aren't doing that well. And circa 2020, people started to get unpartnered and have their equity taken away at big law firms when they didn't produce enough money for the firm. So it's not a good deal, right? It's just not a good deal. And I will say the difference, I think, between Gen Z and millennials is that, like, I still knew millennials who were, like, buying into that kind of a Ponzi scheme, right? They were like, this pyramid, I'm the one who's going to make it to the top. And it's like, well, no. Person at the top calls the shots, and you're probably not going to beat that, right? So, and I was always, it killed me. I mean, I still have friends who work in Big Law, and it's like third, fourth divorce, drinking problem, not earning that great compared to people who started their own firms. Like it's not a good strategy, right? Um, and they're still convinced that that's the way to go. I think the difference is Gen Z has just kind of sat down and done the math and has seen the preceding four generations do dumb things, like slave away for not that great of wages. And Gen Z is like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. And maybe if I can't find a good job, I should start a business. Maybe, really hard jobs deserve to be highly compensated and have perks on the side, like better working conditions that make my life better, even though I'm doing really hard things for this company, right? Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll post the article down below. I don't think it's a very insightful article, and if I'm being honest with you, it seems like they're making up a lot of terms for clicks. Like they're making the argument, millennial. They said millennials valued personal development over compensation. You define that for me in a career context. What's personal development? Can't be promotions because that would be tied to compensation. can't be increasing your skill set because then you'd be due additional compensation. How are we developing? What is personal development in the context of our career? And why did millennials theoretically prioritize it? I've never heard a millennial talk about personal development. Have you ever heard someone say, you know, I could take this job for $200K a year, but I'm going to take this one for 80 because the personal development is really key? That's not a thing. I've heard millennials say, yeah, I could take this slightly better paying job, but the hours are brutal and I just worry about what it would do to my kids, my relationship with my kids, my relationship with my significant other. Or just like, you know, I love playing in my band and I don't want to work nights, so not going to take this job. But I've never once heard someone talk about personal development. Think you're making stuff up, BBC? I mean, I know you're not doing it. Some company you spoke to told you the things and you printed the things. But, like, this is kind of silly. Your article's a little bit silly, okay? Main takeaway here is, yay for Gen Z. Demand more, right? You're living in a world, inflation's out of control. The government is printing money and giving it to rich people and giving almost nothing to poor people. How are you going to get by if you're not going to hold your employer accountable for significant compensation, right? That's what Gen Z is dealing with. They're watching a world stacked against them operate. And they're saying, yeah, it seems like all of you are trying to screw me. So, no. Pay me, right? I don't know. Read the article. Tell me what you think. I would love to have a discussion down below about this article because as I read it, I don't know. This thing just reads like nonsense to me. And I don't know what to think. So help me. Help me know what to think. Let's have a conversation. Take care, everybody. This definitely wasn't helpful. So I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe because this video didn't help anyone. And it's just something I want to talk about. Take care.